Welcome back to O'Reilly Raceway Park. In case you're just tuning in, let's get you caught up on how the race has unfolded. At the drop of the green flag, it was Eric Almirola taking off and leading 87 of the first laps. And then we had a bad pit road incident. That's Jake Lauder, the tire changer carrier on the right front. He had a cut nose and a broken toe, and the team's giving him the rest of the night off. And then Almirola comes back after the caution to retake the lead. And as we said, he's led a total of 87 laps so far. Our third caution came out when Scott Lagasse and Brad Coleman got into each other. And we heard from Lagasse, but not Brad yet. So we all the usual suspects there. And let's get you caught up to speed. And Vince Welch, you're up first.
Well, and Greg Biffle is at the front. Remember, he talked early in the race about his car being wicked loose, but it's much better now after a couple of pit stops and some adjustments to the chassis. Eddie Pardue, the crew chief, telling him, be smooth, race the track. Things look good. Shannon Spake?
Well, Vince, Carl Edwards currently running second, had to start at the back of the field because he was not able to make it here for qualifying over to Indianapolis Motor Speedway. He currently has an 852-point lead ahead of the second-place driver, but don't tell his crew chief PK that. He hates it when you bring up the points lead. He says, I still have a championship to win for Jack Roush. Right now, Carl has been pretty quiet over the radio. He was battling a loose car. Vince.
Well, David Rudeman running third in the 99 machine owned by Michael Waltrip, and it has been really good tonight. He came from the back. Remember, qualified 34th at the Indianapolis Motor Speedway, but he has been on the march. It's his second start at Raceway Park. He was 36th last year. Much better this time around. Shannon Spake?
Well, Ron Hornaday in that number 77 car won the truck race here last night. It was his first truck win here at ORP in 10 years. He was battling a loose car earlier in this race right before that last pit stop. Once again, pretty quiet over the radio. He said he was loose off, tight in the middle. Jack.
Eric Almirola, who started out the pole, was running very well in the first half of this race. And then in his second pit stop, Dave Rogers and the crew decided to make some major adjustments. They were slow on the pit stop. It cost Almirola several positions. He likes his car, although it's still a little bit of a handful in the middle of the corner. But after that faulty pit stop, his crew chief Rogers radioed to him, look, we apologize, but now it's time for you to go to work. Marty?
All right, thanks, guys. We have 26 cars on the lead lap. 7 cars are out of this race, including Kelly Byers and Bobby East, two of the guys that we thought might have breakthrough nights. Take a look at the summary. We've got 6 leaders, 7 lead changes. The average speed so far at just over 83. As we said, 26 cars on the lead lap and 4 cautions. Greg Biffle is the man up front. Does he break through for a win tonight? Stay with us, find out. Back here at O'Reilly Raceway Park, let's check our cash roll. GTX lap leaders. Eric Almirola has led the most with 87. Greg Biffle, 28 and counting. And there you see the rest of you. Bobby East and Kelly Byers out of this race right now. Like we said, we were thinking it might be a breakthrough night for one of those two, but just not going to happen.
There might have been a breakthrough, but there must have been their cars.
Yeah, just a break.
Yes.
Period. All right, there you can see as the 16 car of Greg Biffle continues to motor around this racetrack. That's Danny O'Quinn. He just put a lap down. So that means his next victim is the 35 of Bobby Hamilton Jr., and that means only 22 cars on the lead lap. He is now flying the way Eric Almirola was flying in the first half of the race.
Well, yeah, if you look at his car's getting narrower because he keeps hitting the fence. And I wonder if some of these guys do like we used to do at Darlington. Put some wood between the roll cage and the door, because you got to eventually slap the wall here.
And you can see he has pancaked it a couple of times. Came close again on the last lap where he's sliding out so close. But he's opened up a 2-second lead over Carl Edwards. Then it's David Rudeman, Ron Hornaday, and Jason Leffler, your top 5.
When you rim ride around this place, it's a lot of fun. But it gets narrow, and when you hear that thing scrubbing, you're like, oh, man, don't hit it too hard.
Well, that's it. How many times can you afford to rub the wall before it comes up and bites you?
Well, as long as you just rub it and you don't have to turn back into it. What happens is if you hit it and the thing slaps the second time, you bend your front end. So he could just rub it and don't put the wheel back to the right. Once you turn to the right, you're going to hit it hard.
Well, 65 laps to go, 64 this time by. We're seeing him sliding quite a bit. Is he going to use up these tires?
Well, I mean, the tires are hard. That these guys, the longer they go, the more faster they get on the tires.
Let's back up into ninth place there. You see the 29 of Scott Wimmer. He's got the spot. Brad Keselowski in the 88 car is in 10th and wants it. Can't seem to get enough underneath him, though.
Hey, that's a great deal for Brad Keselowski. I mean, it looks like Junior wants him for the rest of the year in that car. That team has done a wonderful job. So he needs to just hook on to the 29. So let's go to the front, guys.
Let's go on board with Scott Wimmer. Watch for about a half a lap or so. See who's sliding and slipping.
Well, I mean, as you see, I mean, the front balance of this Navy car, that you watch that yellow to the racetrack, the car keeps a nice attitude. When that front balance is on the ground, you know, the guys work very hard in this coil bind stuff to keep that balance down, to keep the attitudes, to keep the cambers right in the front end. I mean, obviously, these guys have worked very hard, and that car's running well.
Shannon, you've got more on the 29 car?
That's right, guys. Scott Wimmer has been so close so many times this season to going to victory lane. One of the guys in the shop actually making a little light of the situation, put a sticker inside that car that said, "Can we win, please?" Scott Wimmer looking to do that tonight, right now, running 9th. There's a caution on the track.
Yeah, we've got a spin in turn number 2, the 25 car of Richard Johns, and it looks like he may have had a little contact. Oh, easy.
As I just said, he were good, but...
All right, bub. Catch back up. You're fine.
Maybe just a slight touch, but he's got some donuts and everything else. Don't know if it was on this spin or if he had any contact at all. The lucky dog from Aaron's will go to Danny O'Quinn, the 30 car.
Off the brake. One on each side.
Yeah,
Get caught back up. Do you have a brake pedal right now?
And there is the 30 car, so he'll get to come around, get back on the lead lap.
We'll see what happens. I don't believe these guys are going to pit again. Well, any word from pit road?
Find out shortly. The most cautions we've ever had in this event was 13. That was back in 1993. This is our 5th. The fewest, actually, we went caution-free just once back in 1985. And so it sounds like we may not see the leaders come in this time. We'll check on it, but we'll step aside, take a commercial break, and return to ORP with the laps starting to wind down. Does Greg Biffle stay out?